Welcome everybody. I'm Jim Knoll, the Tucson Amateur Astronomy Association Star Party Manager. And with me today is my wife Susan. And what we're going to do is we are going to show you how to build an Uncle Al's star wheel. So this is also called a planisphere, and they're very handy to have out in the night sky when you're looking for constellations or certain stars or things like that. Now, a lot of this can be done with apps on your phone. So this is kind of old school, but it's kind of fun to be able to build this and give you an opportunity to understand what's going on in the night sky. And they're very easy to build. You can see there's some instructions that come along with it. And then it also has a removable star wheel. All right, so here we go.
Okay, I am Susan Knoll, and so I'm going to help you make your star wheel. So what you're going to download, you're going to end up with these 3 pages. Now these are with just standard copy paper, but we really recommend you use cardstock. If you have it at all available, it just makes it a lot sturdier, but it will work with regular paper, and I'm going to use regular paper today. Now the 3 pages, this becomes the frame. This is the actual star wheel itself. And this is if you want to track some oddball things. It's got some additional grid lines that make it easier to follow and to find out where something is relative to the constellations that are listed. But I'm not going to use this one today. What we're going to do is to make this one. So the first step is to cut this out. So what you're going to do is cut along these lines, and it's in the instructions. And there's some dotted lines here that we're going to fold on, and you need to cut on the frame, cut this hole out. Now I'm not going to bore you all with cutting, so I have one I've already cut out, but that's what you need. You need to start by cutting this line and this oval out, so this is an empty hole. So you'll end up with something like this, and then something like this for your star wheel after you do the cutting. Now to make the actual frame from this, now you're going to fold on these dotted lines. And you can see why the cardstock is better. It kind of gets kind of floppy if you're using regular. It's actually handier if you use a ruler to do these folding on the lines. And we're going to adjust the camera. Okay, if you have a situation where you can actually see from the back side, but so that we can see this, I'm going to do this from the front side to begin with. So just kind of lay your ruler along that dotted line and then fold it. And do that on both sides. We're going to fold the other direction, but this will get you started and will give you a straight line to work with. If you don't have a ruler or want to do it just the regular way, that works as well. Okay. So then to make this work, but it'll stay along those folded lines, so kind of go the reverse way. So it's going to go like that, and then fold that like that, and on this side also fold it in. So everything's been pre-folded and it's just sitting there. Now we're going to use tape and just tape this up. Make sure this stays flat, so it's good to have it laying on the table. And just regular Scotch tape will work fine. And the more area you cover, the better, but so there you have the frame. And so if you've cut this out, now the frame, that just slides in here and it'll rotate. And when we get around to showing you exactly how to use it, this is the time and this is the date. So there's the months as well as the dates, and you just have to figure out where we are. So when we're doing this, it's going to be like the 1st of October.
We have some questions we're going to go through here just a minute.
So, and depending upon what time you're outside, so you just line up what time you're outside with the date. And so, like I say, since we're going to be around the 1st of October, if we're out there at 8 p.m., that's the part of the sky you should be able to see. And that's how you make the wheel. Like I say, it is easier if it's cardstock, but paper will work.
Okay, so here's the completed star wheel again. And so what we're going to do, there's a list of questions on our website that you can print out and gives you a little chance to practice finding things in the night sky, and then just take it outside on a nice clear night and figure it out. And you just kind of see how things look. When you're looking at the star wheel, as Susan mentioned, you're going to have the months and the dates along the top and the times around here. And then anything that shows up in the center circle should be visible in the night sky. And normally what you do, if you're looking towards the south, you want to have the southern horizon down. So you would be kind of looking like this. And that means everything close to the southern horizon should be right in front of you, and everything close to the northern horizon will be back behind you. Anything in the middle should be straight up, and then you've got the eastern horizon and the western horizon. If you're facing east, you simply just turn it a little bit so that you've got the eastern horizon pointing down, and this should be right in front of you, and this would be what would be behind you. Okay, so what's the first project?
Okay, set the star wheel for 9 p.m. on November 1st.
So we're going to spin this around so we have November 1st visible. So there's November. November 1st is going to be right here along the solid line, and we're going to line it up at 9 p.m. So now you'll see that November 1st is right at 9 p.m. Okay?
What constellation is near the northern horizon?
All right, so this is the northern horizon. So if you look up at the top, these should be the constellations that are really close to the horizon in the north, and it should be probably Ursa Major, which is the Big Dipper, so that's one everybody can find pretty good. And then just to the off to the side of it, you might see part of a constellation called Boötes, the herdsman. So those are the ones that are going to be closest to the northern horizon.
What constellation is near the eastern horizon?
So now if you come over here to the eastern horizon, you're going to see most of this constellation right here, which is Orion. Orion is cut off just slightly. There's the word Orion, so they are labeled. And so Orion is going to be just coming up in the east. Everything, all the stars in the constellations always rise in the east and set in the west. The only thing that's not true on that is anything close to Polaris, or the North Pole, which is the last star in the handle of the Little Dipper or Ursa Minor. And that is close enough that points right, the Earth's north celestial pole points right towards Polaris, and so all the stars spin around that. So anything basically close to the North Pole is going to always be visible. Sometimes you'll see, like the Big Dipper, sometimes you'll just see the bucket, and you won't see the handle, or you'll just see the handle and the bucket will be down below the horizon. So this is kind of right at the edge of the horizon. All right, so that's how you build and use Uncle Al's star wheel. Now, we didn't talk about this extra wheel a little bit. This one is kind of unique in that it has some numbers on it if you look closely, and it's probably going to be tough to see at this distance, but across the top you're going to see like a 0, 1, 2, 3. Those are called right ascension, and so that is you'll see objects sometimes listed as right ascension and declination. So if it were to say like 3 hours and 30 minutes, that would be, there's a 3 at the top, and you'd go halfway between the 3 and 4, and that would be 3 hours and 30 minutes. And then the declination is the horizontal lines going down towards the center. And there is some minus numbers in here as well as some positive ones. So it might say a declination of 22 degrees or something like that. So it's hours and degrees are the right ascension and the declination. So if you're trying to find where maybe a comet is or something, or a planet that isn't always visible and changes location on the star wheel, then you'd want to use something like this and get the RA and declination. Planets don't show up on the star wheel because they move. Planet means wanderer. So since they move in the night sky, you can't have a fixed planisphere like that. So there you would want to use either a phone app or a computer planetarium program or something like that to be able to figure that out. So this is the other star wheel that goes with this one. You can just put the second one right behind it when you're storing it, or leave it in there. It's probably easier to use without. But anyway, that's how to build. On the website, there will be, as Susan mentioned, the printed, that you can print out, preferably on cardstock. For this, there'll be a list of questions that'll help you get familiar with the planisphere. And then you can always, if you've got a question on how to use it or something, but you can always send us an email. All right, so with that in mind, enjoy looking in the night sky and think clear skies. Thanks.